storytellers, welcome back to my channel. Today's video for Vlogoween is going to be a 5x5 review of What Light by J. Asher. So, this novel follows a girl named Sierra who lives in Oregon most of the year. Her family owns a Christmas tree farm, and come Christmas time, late November through December, her family moves down to California for the month to sell her Christmas trees on their Christmas tree lot there. This essentially leads to Sierra having a sort of double life where she has friends and a life in Oregon and then a best friend and a whole other sort of life down in California. She loves them both, but this season is new. She meets a boy and suddenly her life in California starts to take precedent just a little bit. So fair warning for this 5x5, a lot of my likes and dislikes are sort of two sides of the same coin. I like one thing and then there's still sort of an issue with it. To be clear, I did really enjoy this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was a fun, cute holiday read. Definitely nothing earth-shatteringly brilliant about it, but definitely cute all the same. So without any further ado, let's get right on into the likes. So the first one, the author, J. Asher, did a pretty good job not shying away from the negatives and challenges that come along with starting a relationship when you're in a place for such a short amount of time, one that will eventually either end or become long distance. It's valid concerns on Sierra's part, and it's something she wrestles with pretty much the entire story, and I think it's very realistic to include that because most people would just sort of not start a relationship, which is her mindset at the beginning of the novel. So she sort of takes a risk on this boy, and I liked that he just didn't shy away from not painting it as this totally picture perfect, no questions asked kind of relationship. Like number 2. So Caleb, the boy that Sierra falls for, is a boy with a sort of dark moment in his past that the entire town holds over his head, he holds over his own head, and he's constantly being judged for. And while he's not exactly the negative person those rumors present him to be, he is also presented by the author as a realistically flawed person. He's not this total saint who has this not accurate story in his past. You know, it wasn't something taken out of context. It was something that happened, and I liked that the author presented him as sort of realistically flawed. His temper does flare up. He's not this perfect guy all of the time. Like number 3, Sierra is somebody who starts out having very high standards for boyfriends, somebody who is very picky and kind of judgmental, but I like that she takes a chance on Caleb anyway. She initially attempts to sort of shy away from him, given that she's heard these rumors about him, but she also does give him the opportunity to tell his story the way it really happened and to not judge him too harshly until she knows the full story from his point of view, and I liked that she at least took the chance to do that. Like number 4, I appreciated the relationship between Sierra and her parents. While it was not totally perfect and there were moments of frustration and miscommunication between them all, I did feel like they had a pretty strong, open, honest relationship with each other where they were able to talk about a lot of things and feelings and work through problems together as a family unit and not like parents versus kids kind of thing. It was something that isn't done a lot in stories, I feel like. I feel like most stories sort of paint the kids against their parents a lot of the time, and it was nice to see somebody who felt like they were more in line with their parents versus against them. Like number 5, Sierra has some really strong friends. The Elizabeth, Heather, and Rachel, I believe, if I remembered their names correctly, are really close to her. They look out for her and her interests, and they do their best to listen to her and be there for her whenever she needs them. They go out of their way to send her things from Oregon when she needs them to. At one point, she asks for a Christmas miracle, and boy, do they deliver. All right, let's get into the dislikes. And on the flip side of Sierra having great friends, Sierra is kind of a bad friend. She blows off going to one of her friends being in a play in Oregon who has never been in a play before. It's a big deal, and she wants Sierra to be there, and Sierra blows her off to be with Caleb, and on the one hand, you understand because Sierra does have limited time with Caleb, but on the other hand, she has known these people her entire life, and they expect her to drop everything and be there for them, when they would do the same for her and she just doesn't, and her friends get understandably frustrated, as did I. So Sierra could work on her friendship skills a little bit. Dislike number 2, on the flip side of Caleb being a realistically flawed character, aside from the moment where you learn about his freak out, that dark moment in his past, and a few moments where he's reacting negatively to somebody being rude or a jerk to him or bringing up a past that they know nothing about, he's kind of almost boringly nice. Dislike number 3. There is a boy who works on the Christmas tree lot with Sierra who previously has asked her out and tried to get with her, and she just didn't have those feelings for him, and unfortunately he is one of those nice guys that is anything but. The second she very clearly rejects him in favor of Caleb, he takes it horribly and starts acting like a jerk to both of them, and it's just, I didn't like that was added in, especially because it doesn't add anything great to Sierra's character. It just makes her sort of one of those annoying characters that like every boy loves, so that whole dynamic just didn't add anything for me. Dislike number 4. Speaking of things that didn't add anything for me, Sierra's friend Heather and her boyfriend Devin are sort of a foil type relationship to Sierra and Caleb's. It's meant to show you the challenges and negatives of being a couple where you can see each other every day, but I didn't find either of those characters particularly interesting, so hearing about their like relationship drama just didn't add anything to the story for me. And last but not least, dislike number 5. Now, this one isn't a huge personal issue for me. In fact, I kind of like it, I'm not gonna lie, but it is something to note for those who might not like this kind of story, and that is that it is a little bit insta-lovey. It's not totally insta-lovey because the characters do, Sierra and Caleb share a lot of personal anecdotes, and they do go through moments of miscommunication and trial and error, so you can see the genuine development and buildup of their feelings for each other, but their sort of instant connection, instant attraction kind of thing is a little bit insta-lovey, so if you don't like that, just be wary. But that is it for this video. That is it for my 5x5 review of What Light by J. Asher. Like I said, overall, I did enjoy this book. I thought it was a cute little holiday read. I'm not upset that I read it, and I did kind of struggle to find anything that I massively liked or massively disliked about it. That's why I gave it a 4 out of 5. It was just sort of solid, nothing too crazy one way or another, but I am going to get going. If you want to keep up with me and all of my bookish adventures, you can go ahead and click the subscribe button, and you should definitely ring the little bell so that you don't miss a beat more of a Vlogmas. I will see you guys tomorrow with a new video. Bye!